The Daily Purge. What's up with you today? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. I want to talk about something today, yo. I'm telling you. Talk about something today. As you know, I've been going through like massive training in myself, like I'm doing a master's degree in self-development, but in the strangest ways. I'm working with different modalities of healing. So, like inner healing, outer healing, mind structuring, meditation in a new way where you go through a route every morning instead of just meditating and waiting to see. You actually consciously lead yourself through a route and different things. And man, I'll tell you, it's having some impacts. And then the more the more you learn, the less you know, right? That's to quote you too, the more you learn, the less you know. But it's taking me to a whole new level, and it's taking me to a whole new different kind of, let's say, paradigm, place, where I am. It takes the business to a whole new different paradigm and place. It takes my relationships to a whole new different paradigm and place. And I got to tell you, it's just non-stoppable. I did, Joe. I just started right now. You're like the first one who commented, brother. So congratulazione. Very nice. So now I've shared that around. You can share it. You can tag people, share it, whatever. So I'm going to talk about excess potential. When I talk about excess potential, it's created when you give too much attention or value to a certain object or event or something that you want. It's like this evaluation distorts the objective reality, giving the object, event, or want exaggerated negative or exaggerated positive attributes, right? So they're invisible, obviously. Potentials are invisible, but they play a massive role, and often an insidious role in people's lives. So they cause massive problems because their action is the opposite to the intention that created the potential. So let me give you a few examples of what I'm talking about. So there's like the equilibrium, and there's violations. You have negative violations and positive violations. One of them is, for instance, if you give something too much importance, I need to have this done. This is so important. You're creating excess potential, and that takes everything out of the equilibrium. If you give it too much, if you have too much desire, right, you're also taking it out of equilibrium. And when you take it out of equilibrium, that sort of messes up your chances to get there. Matter of fact, with excess potential, you typically don't reach your goals. And so, let's say, for instance, you want to make $1 million, right? And you're like, man, I've never made $1 million, and my family never made $1 million. And you have this little small sense of guilt, right? Just a small sense of guilt. Well, what you're telling the universe when you have guilt is punish me, make it not happen, right? Or if you're overconfident, you give it too much importance, and you give yourself internal too much importance, and you're showing a sense of superiority, you're basically telling the universe, slap me for my overinflated ego. You see what I'm saying? Or let's say you have an inferiority complex, right? And you meet a woman or meet a man, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can match up to him. She's so beautiful, or he's so sexy, or whatever. You're telling the universe, prove me everything is exactly as I say it is, right? Everyone else is more important than me, right? Or let's say you have excessive desire. I want it so bad. Universe, make sure I don't get it, right? Perfectionism. It's got to be perfect. Make sure my life is a struggle. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are all taking you, their excess potential, taking you out of the equilibrium and putting you into a place where you're going to work harder, to get to where you want to go. And all of these excess potentials basically described as one word, and that's importance, right? The importance in its purest form of the excessive potential and equilibrium forces creates massive problems for anyone who creates it, right? It's powerful. It's really, really powerful. I mean, let's talk about excess desire, just since everyone is like dating and having dating issues or whatever. Hey, Cher De La Cruz. Hey, Joe, Tony, Arnie, how you doing, brother? So check it out. So let's talk about excess desire, right? So you're with a woman, right? And you want her, or a man, and you want her really bad. Like, I desire this person really bad. What's that doing? It's creating excess potential in your equilibrium of your energies. They're going to feel that. It's like a push. It's like someone pushing against them. And in the beginning, if it's mutual, it's great. But you've all been there where you're in love with somebody, or you really, really love somebody, and suddenly they just drop off the face of the earth. Because suddenly they're like, whoa, it's too much. Like, it's just too much. And so that's that excess potential. So how do you reduce that? How do you reduce that excess potential? How do you reduce the excess desire? How do you reduce the excess importance? It's a difficult thing, but what I say is you pan out, right? You always pan out, look at the big picture. In this picture that I'm in right now, what is the key factor? What are the key factors? What's important for me, right? But what's not too important is one piece of that. And I've been doing this like really hard recently. And also, like I said, against energy. So I make sure, morning, brother, how you doing? I'm always focusing on that against energy, and against energy is being against anyone or anything. And you're probably saying, wait a second, how can you not be against something? Well, if you're against something, you're giving it too much importance, right? So if there's someone says something to you and insults you and you give it importance, it's going to hurt you. It's going to take you out of the equilibrium. So what do you do with someone who insults you or things that are coming your way that are bad? One, you say, I'm not against anything. I'm not against anyone. This is actually happening and it's good because X, Y, Z. That's why it's good. Right? Thank you. That's why it's good. You're tricking your amygdala to think good and bad. You always find that one kernel of good in everything bad. Right? So that's the first step of when you're in this place, right? Man, there's so much to talk about here. I don't know where to start. So if you're in a relationship even, and you're on an even keel, and your man and woman are doing good, and the woman says, I don't know if I want to be around. I don't know if I want to be around much more. I mean, maybe I want to leave. Suddenly, your desire and importance goes through the roof as a guy. And what do? I'm not against anyone. I'm not against anything. What is good here? Exactly. Why is this good? Right? So let's say, for instance, you're separated from your wife. And she calls you and says, I can't make it home. You have to pick up the kids. And you're like to yourself, okay, I have an appointment. I can't. One, operate by no excess potential. And you go, okay, I'll pick up the kids. Right? No excess potential. You just take it in stride. Now, you could say, that's bullshit. You can't do this to me. Right? All this kind of stuff. What's that going to do? It's making it too important, isn't it? Right? Excess potential. What's it going to do? It's going to be an uneven keel. So how do you address something like that without making it important, but getting what you want without any excess potential or against energy? How do you do that? Well, it's different every time, isn't it? So in that case, you wait till the next day or whenever, and you bring the kids home, or she comes, picks them up, or whatever, right? And you simply say, hey, I hope you had a good time. Pretty cool. Had a great time with the kids, right? And why don't we set up a schedule so that you know when you can be free and I know when I can be free. And then you do that. That's no against energy, no excess potential. So what do I do in that moment when I'm like, wait a second, I have plans. Like, what am I supposed to do? And you say, well, let's see. I'm not against anyone. I'm not against anything. And this is good because now I get to spend more time with my kids and have quality time with my kids. That's why this is good. And you're telling your amygdala, it doesn't matter what happens in your life. It's good. You will always find good. Hello, Olga. And when you always find good in life and you train your brain to think like that, after a while, you're always going to think like that. And I can tell you from my experience in the last 30, 40 days, it's real. And it doesn't matter what happens to me. And I've had some shit happen to me in the last couple months. And I'm fine with it. And of course, the energy that people are throwing at you, right? Like, rah, rah, rah. You stand above it, right? Like it's like Steven Seagal, right? He uses Aikido. Aikido uses the energy of the person against themselves. It's like when someone is pounding on a door, you can hold the door or you can just open it and let them fall on their face. Right? That's what you do with the energy that's coming towards you that we don't want to have. You don't have to get involved with, tension. That's excess importance again, right? You get in emotion, rah, rah, fuck you, I don't want to do this. Rah. You're giving it excess potential, excess desire to win, desire to be better, desire to win the argument. What's up, brother? All right, Enrique, how you doing? And when you do that, you're causing problems for everyone in your field, right? So what do? Aikido, right? They come at you with your energy. You take their energy and you direct it in another direction. You take their energy and you direct it. Use it against them. Keep it moving, boys. Keep it moving, right? And you're probably thinking, Steve, you're a nutcase Maybe I am, but it works. It freaking works, man. So no excess potential, no against energy, no excess importance or desire, and the Aikido effect of the energy. And there's much more out there that I could talk about, which I won't right now, because I think if you can master this, right? If you can master this and even just start implementing it, that every time you have an issue where you feel stress, you feel anxiety, you feel nerved because something's not working, that's all excess potential. And when you can reduce that by panning out and looking at the big picture and saying that this one thing in my life is not important in the big picture, then suddenly, boom, it loses its excess potential and you're back on keel again. And there's something else you can say to embed that. Now, I have a personal mission statement of my life, right? Cher knows it by heart, right? And when I'm in a situation like that, right? What if you really desire your kid, someone gets better? Joe, you can desire that. There's nothing wrong with desire. It's excess desire, right? When you excess of anything, you're going to get the opposite. You're telling the universe to give you the opposite, right? It's like that. You have to set the intention. And let me talk about want. I talked about that last night, right? So you have the want energy. You want your kids to get better, right? And this is visual, just so you understand. So what do? You meditate. You call doctors, and you're putting the excess. Sorry, you're putting the burden of the. Actually, I have to look at my notes here. There we go. You're putting the stakes high. So the stakes are high with your kid, right? And your stakes are high. That means your faith drops. So when the stakes are high, your faith is drop. When your faith is high, stakes drop. So in a case like that, Joe, you're going to call the doctor. That's taking your energy and give it to somebody else to fix your problem, right? To fix the problem with the child, which everyone does, right? When you're in that situation and you're trying to, not trying, you have to get into. It's difficult to explain in such a short video. It's been like a 36-hour journey. So if it's, first of all, excess potential, no against energy, and then look at the stakes. When the stakes are high, you got to raise your faith so the stakes would go back down. You lower the stakes by knowing that there's a want energy there, and the want energy is simple to understand. If you want to go and get the post, you want to cook, you want to go lay down. Do you have to meditate? Do you have to prepare? Do you have to set a goal? Do you have to sit down and draw out a plan to get there? No, you just want there. And that's the lack of belief, right? The lack of belief. The heart will only believe what is backed up by facts in the mind, right? So you know that you can walk out the door, go to the post, and open it up. So you don't need to believe, right? It's a fact. And so your heart's like, yeah, I'm good, right? But if you're saying, I need my kid to get better, or I need, a new job or whatever, you don't know. You don't know the facts, right? So you have to train your brain to let go of the importance and the desire of that and allow the stakes to be lowered by raising your faith, by making your vision statement. And that's what my mission statement is. Mission statement. My mission statement is I radiate value that lifts people to a higher frequency. And I know it sounds general, and it should be, but when I look at what I do in my life, everything that I do, all the jobs that I've done, everybody I've touched, everybody I've worked with, right? Excess potential, excess desire and excess importance, Joe, yes. And so I look at everything in my life and everything I've done. I'm always elevating people. I'm always helping people, and sometimes, without their permission. I should watch that probably, right? And and that's how I came up with. Yeah, it is, Joe. It is very heavy to understand, but it's amazing once you grasp it. And so I'm always elevating others. I'm always trying to radiate value. Read it in the book. Radiate value, elevate others to your frequency, higher frequency. So if I come up with a situation like you, Joe, right, or something with my kids, and we've had that, I say to myself, okay, excess potential, no. Pan out, look at the whole picture, okay. And I say, when I'm looking at the whole picture, you know what? This is a small part of my life, right? The whole thing is what's important. And why am I here anyway? I'm here to radiate value, to elevate people to a higher frequency. That's why the F I'm here. That's what matters. Boom, you brought the stakes down, you brought the faith high. You see what I'm saying? That automatically gives the energy across to your children. You go to your children and you take that energy that you have, that equilibrium that you brought, and you give it to them. And I know it sounds very holistic, but everything's made out of energy, and everyone knows that. So just to tie that into there. But again, a sense of guilt. You're telling the universe, punish me. Sense of superiority is like slap me hard for my ego, you know. Inferiority complex is like prove me everything is exactly as I say it is, right? Discontent, give me more reasons to be unhappy. Idealization, smack my face with the ground of reality. Contempt, push me back down in my place. Excessive desire, make sure I don't get it. Perfectionism, make sure my life is a struggle. That's pretty tough, isn't it? But once you start living consciously like that, everything changes. It's freaking crazy. I got to tell you, I'm just so amazed at the level of knowing that I have, like the absolute certainty that I have in so many things now that aren't even a thought anymore because I've made them fact. Again, the heart won't believe anything that's not backed up by fact in the mind. Bring the stakes down and bring your faith high. There you go, baby. Oh, baby. Sorry, Cher. Sorry, I didn't say baby. I didn't mean baby like that. I meant baby like, yeah, baby. Like Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. You know, whatever. Sorry, boy, that was a faux pas, wasn't it? Anyway, so yes, Cher. Bring the stakes down and bring your faith high. Exactly what I'm talking about. It's a powerful thing, man. It's a really, if you want more information on this stuff, it's a lot of work. It's literally like a college degree going through this stuff every day, 3 or 4 hours, just going tough for the last months. You know, 3 or 4 calls a week, group sessions, the whole works. It's amazing. It really, really is, and it's changed my life forever. Anyway, and we've implemented into our coaching already. We've seen the results. We're attracting more clients. Our business is amazing. Our business is really exploding. Our certainty. Hey, Joe, no problem. Our certainty is just through the roof. All right, everybody? Great. Thanks for tuning in, Share. It's not often that you're here on the live. I really appreciate it. Thank you all who shared and tagged. It's awesome to be there. Come on, buddy. Hey, Sissy, you want to say? Yeah. And you want to go to the other side? Okay. Come here, Pookie. And it's awesome if you share this or tag somebody. My boy. Yeah? Happy New Year, Arnie. Okay, babe. Here we go. All right. So everyone have a fantastic one. This is episode 760, believe it or not. Yeah. You have a fantastic one. And remember, it's all about
quality of life. Quality of life.
Oh, come on, guys. Come on, do it. It's all about quality of life. There we go. All right. See you guys next time. Tomorrow, actually.